Will you call President Obama or any of those targeted to update them?
If they wanted me to, but I think we'll probably pass. Thank you very much.
Would you yourself pledge to tone down the rhetoric for the next few days?
Well, I think I've been toned down. You want to know the truth? I could really tone it up.
President Trump told reporters today he thinks he could really tone up his rhetoric even further. Pretty remarkable considering his history of encouraging and praising violence.
Knock the crap out of them, would you? Seriously. Okay? Just knock the hell. I promise you, I will pay for the legal fees. You know what they used to do to guys like that when they were in a place like this? They'd be carried out on a stretcher, folks. I'd like to punch him in the face, I'll tell you. Any guy that can do a body slam, he's my kind of... He's my guy.
It's the man with the most powerful megaphone in the country, possibly the world. Joined now by NBC News presidential historian Michael Beschloss. Michael, I have watched you on television and I have read you, and I think everyone is trying to articulate just how deeply aberrant and anomalous this behavior from this individual in this office is. Give it another shot.
Right. Well, you know, I spend my whole life looking for historical parallels, Chris, and I am striking out because I've never seen a president encourage violence this way, so unwilling to fulfill his role to unify the nation, and also just so lacking in empathy. You know, maybe one runner-up. You know, one thing I was reminded of through all this, in the spring of 1972, George Wallace was campaigning for the Democratic nomination for president, and he was shot in Maryland. And the news was brought to Richard Nixon, and he was told that there was a suspect, Arthur Bremer, who lived in Milwaukee. And just about Nixon's first reaction was, well, maybe we should get someone to plant literature for George McGovern in Bremer's apartment so that people will think that George McGovern was behind the shooting of Wallace. And the reason I'm reminded of this is not because there's any sign that Trump is, you know, thought of doing something like that, but the stunning lack of empathy and the immediate effort to just turn this into politics. It's just not in him. It's not in his software to unify the country, and especially, you know, a little bit over a week before these midterms, he's so intoxicated with trying to unify his base and pit group against group.
Here's the distinction, and I'm not the historian here, but I've been thinking about this too because I'm going back and reading Nixon. Nixon would do all that covertly. All of the dirty games and the dirty tricks, all covert. When he went out and made a speech, he could plausibly pretend to care. He understood the Stations of the Cross of American civic religion, that he would go through and he would say things about it's a terrible tragedy and the riots and this and that.
Right.
This president is incapable of doing that. The public performance is not within his register.
Totally. It's not something he knows as part of the presidency, and if he ever knew, he doesn't care. And you're a great scholar of Nixon, so I think you're absolutely right here. And remember what the inaugural slogan was for Nixon in 1969, bring us together. And I think for a moment at the beginning he meant it, but Nixon's instinct was to do the opposite. But nothing like this.
I want to play another moment in the rally tonight, which is this is a very common rhetorical trope of the president that I find as menacing or more menacing even than the explicit parts. Take a listen.
Maxine Waters. But I'm going to be nice tonight. So I won't say it. I won't say it. I won't say it. I'm going to be nice. I want them to say he was so nice tonight.
What is that?
What is that he is completely indifferent to, or maybe aware of the fact that he says things like that tonight? He may be causing violence against someone like Maxine Waters by singling her out. And by saying, I'm going to be nice tonight, it's sort of the point that you were making about Nixon, Chris, that any words he says, and he said a few words tonight that look good on paper, he obviously didn't mean them. And by saying, I'm going to be nice, he's basically saying, you know, don't take this seriously if I say something that unifies.
Exactly. He's telling everyone don't take it seriously. Right. And he's also, to me, intimating he's letting everyone fill in the blanks in their mind. All the despicable things he said about Maxine Waters. Let's all just take a moment and think of them. Again, on the day that they apprehended a guy who's going to those rallies, who sent 2 pipe bombs to try to blow Maxine Waters up.
We have never seen a president react to something like this in such an unbelievably aberrant way. And it is very important in this time now that we keep on remembering the way that normal presidents would have reacted to this. You know, a Ronald Reagan or a Barack Obama or a John F. Kennedy. You know, if there was a reaction to something like this, it would have been in public to try to unify the nation, make people feel safe, enforce the rule of law, and also private, feel for the person, even if it was a political adversary. That's what America is. He doesn't understand that.
Final question to you. What do you think historians, the Michael Beschlosses of the future, when they are writing about this period and this president in this period, what their judgment will be about his moment at his role in this moment in American politics?
I think they will say this exposed the kind of person he really is. He can't even pretend in public to be otherwise, can't pretend to be unifier. And as bad as it is in public, it's probably a good thing for him that there are no Donald Trump tapes because, Chris, can you imagine what he might have been saying in private about this the last 36 hours? I don't even want to imagine.
Michael Beschloss, thank you for joining me. Hey there, I'm Chris Hayes from MSNBC. Thanks for watching MSNBC on YouTube. If you want to keep up to date with the videos we're putting out, you can click subscribe just below me or click over on this list to see lots of other great videos.